Hey everyone, Choice Ndon, CEO of Traders Helmet Academy. I'll be guiding you on how to draw your support and resistance using TradingView. So you log into your system and go to www.tradingview.com where you sign up and you add all your currency pairs and then you click on the chart and then you can start analyzing. So here on my screen is USD CHF. My time frame is 4 hours time frame. USD CHF 4 hours time frame. So I'm going to show you how to draw your support and resistance. If you can remember during the lectures, the support is the lowest point in the chart while the resistance is the highest point in the chart. So here you pick your tools, you get your horizontal line and then you drop at the lowest point. Remember, the support is always the lowest point. You can increase the size of your bar. I want it to be bold for everyone to see. So you can change the color of the line to green color. So that is our first support. And then you pick another horizontal line where price has touched again. This becomes first resistance in this market where price has touched. And remember, where you have support, it means price has reached that place previously. If you trace back antecedents, you'll see that price has touched this place over time. So next you're going to have another line of resistance up here. That is another resistance where price has touched so many times. Remember, support can become resistance and resistance can also become support. So here the price will move up here first, and then before you have the last resistance up here. So alright guys, so how do we trade this kind of market? USD CHF here, you can see that I'm taking out my arrow. You can see from this point, from this support, price rise from this support and gets to this point. First, it got to this point. That's a buying market. Price rise from that point to this point. Let me denote it with red color so you can see my arrow very well. And then okay, so you can see if you buy from the support, price rise and then get to this point. Is that right? So you buy from the support and sell from the resistance. This is the resistance. So at this point, remember you are to sell from this point. So at this point, you can see that price, tilt backward. You can see came down to this point. And remember, this also is a previous support. This was a resistance, now became a support before this resistance over here. So price now got to this point. It sold to this point and then make another movement upward. From this point, again, the price rise to hit a resistance, an old resistance that became the most recent support before the last resistance. So that is how you can trade this market. Now, how do you know how many pips? You can also check the number of pips. If you can see from here, from the first movement, let me clear my screen. From the first movement here, from the support. So let's see how many pips. from that point to this point, you have done over 700 pips. You can see on my screen that is 700 pips. 700 pips. That's so much. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see how many pips we have if you are selling the pullback. If you are selling pullback, this will be about pullback. This is where the price stop. So you've done over 376.4 pips if you are selling pullbacks. So guys, it's very, very important to always note your support lines and resistance. If you want to still follow, you can still see at this point, that's the newest support, the price went back down, coming towards this resistance, though he didn't get to the resistance completely, but still came down. Is that right? And then still move from that point. It still went back up from this point, it still went back up to this point. So generally, this is how the market moves. Is that right? This is how the market moves. You must leave support to resistance, from resistance to the newer resistance, and then the newer resistance becomes the former resistance becomes a new support. That is how price move generally. So you need to follow it that way. You need to follow it that way. So let's look at something else. Let's look at something else. Let's look at how. Okay, let's look at. Let's use Fibonacci retracement and see the retracement level. Let's look at the retracement level. Okay, so using Fibonacci retracement from the support, you take it up to the highest point. This is the highest point. Let me check that again. Let me check that again. Okay, so from the support, I didn't pick that from the support, so to the highest points, so you can see where the price did his retracements. You can see from this is 0, this is 0.236, this is 0.382, this is 0.5955, and then you have 0.618, and you have 0.786, and then you have 0.923. Okay, so guys, generally it just using this to know the retracement level. That's 0.50. Using this to know retracement level, Fibonacci retracement. So guys, let's look at it. So this is at 50%. At 50%, the price retraces back upward. So if you are on a buy and then the market moves upward to this point, and then know that it's going to retrace at least 50% retracement, you can take the trade again for a buy. Let's look at other conditions that will help you in taking good decisions in the market. Like say you want to buy, let's look at other conditions. Like you want to buy, let's say you want to buy. So I'm wiping off this. I'm clearing off all drawings and indicator. Okay, so guys, before you take a trade, you have to look at the price, the chart in 4 hours time frame, in 1 hour time frame, in 30 minutes, and then in 15 minutes. You can look at this. This is 4 hours. I'm selecting this. Also, let's look at it in 1 hour time frame. Let's look at the chart. This is the chart in 1 hour time frame. Depending on the time frame you'll be charting, trading with. So you also look at this thing on the time frame. So let's look at another pair. Okay, so let's look at other pairs. Okay, this is USD JPY. I'm going to look at USD JPY in 4 hours. Basically, I use 4 hours time frame to do my chart. So okay, so this is USD JPY. This is my favorite pair. You can see that the general movement is a downward trend. The general movement is a downward trend. So you first of all spot your trend. Is the market downward movement or is an upward trend? So you first of all do what? You spot the movement of the market. You can see it has the price here. If you really want to look at the trend here, it was an upward trend here, from here you can see here shows an upward trend. So if you are following it from this point to this point, you can see an upward trend. And then if you are following it from this point, the market changed direction. And then change direction downward. And from here you can also see that using horizontal line, the markets wasn't making good reasonable movement. It was just going up and down. You can see here the market was just ranging. You can see it's not going up, it's not coming down, it's just going sideways. So you spot your trend line first before you take a trade. Okay, so here you can still bring in let's look at our support resistance here. Let me remove every drawings. Okay, so here let's look at our support resistance. Also here this is the lowest point the price has touched, so we drop that point as our support, and then we also pick here to be a resistance. That's the highest point, the lowest point, and the highest point. In between the support and the resistance, there's another point where price rests. That could be this point. At this point, there was a lot of reaction in this area. Price touches this area so many times, and then in between also price also had a lot of play in this area as well. You can see price touches this place. Is that right? You can see a lot of wicks, candle wicks terminated here. You can see here and here. So you have your support, you have your resistance, and then you have your new resistance, which this become your new support. And as the price moves and crosses this, breaks this, when he breaks this upward, he's pursuing the new resistance. You can see if you are starting from here, this is where the price moves. The journey began here and it got to this point. He broke this resistance and then forged ahead to meet up with new resistance. You can see here. You can even take this up a little high. So at this point, price breaks this point and then went further again to establish new resistance. And at this resistance, it started coming down again. We said you buy low. At this point, you buy. You buy from this point. Let me bring my arrow. So at this point, if you take this trade from this point, if you enter this price here, let's say you enter this price from this point, you see price rise to this point. Now at this point again, you do what? You sell, pull back, sell, pull back. This is like almost 50% retracement. You sell this part and then you stay out of the market. So always buy low and sell high. So if you take a trade here in this place, here become your here you place your stop loss below. You have your stop loss here. Let's get our stop loss here. Okay, so our stop loss should be here. We place our stop loss here. So whenever you take a trade, always apply your stop loss. It is very, very important to always apply your stop loss below here. So this is your entry price, your stop loss below, and then you can have your first take profit on the first horizontal, your second take profit here, and then your third take profit up here. So basically that is how to buy low and also sell high. So if you are taking a sell, you want to sell, you're expecting price to fall, you take your trade here. So if you are taking a sell from the resistance points, you're buying, you're selling high. Remember, you buy low and sell high. So if you are selling from this point, you place your stop loss above. So this is where your stop loss will be. This is your stop loss. I'm trying to, let me stretch it out. Okay, so this is your stop loss. Is that right? So your stop loss is above. This is your entry price, your stop loss above. Is that right? So that is how you take a trade using support, resistance. That's how you take a trade using support, resistance. Okay, so in our next class, we'll be talking about something else. We'll be talking about using pivot strategy. In our next class, we'll be talking about pivot strategy.